Viewer discretion is expressed for the following program. If you are easily triggered or offended, please exercise caution while viewing this program, because the hosts really don't care. Warning, this show is not for children, and not for coworkers either.
Hey, we're only 10 minutes late. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Windows Update.
Hey. Thank you, Windows. Thank you. Write up your fucking update. Good morning, everybody.
Hey, right off the bat, this morning, let's just drop some.
Yeah, it's just luckily that intro song is long enough that we get past the 15-second curse filter.
That shows you how happy JJ is this week. It's almost over with, my friend. I know. Do you think that maybe everyone is on edge because the energy of the world is negative right now? There's so much negative energy that's emitting in the world. Do you think that may be a factor?
We have a psychological, psychic oppression and attack happening now.
I believe in.
See, you say words like energy and things like hippie type words, right? But then other people would say like we're under demonic attack. And then yet other people would say we're being lied to constantly and manipulated by vested powers that be. And all of those things might be true at the same time.
At the same time. Good morning, sir. You were talking about the Windows Update as I was running errands after work yesterday. The other radio station that we own called me in a panic because their program, we have a program that runs our music. So this program talks to hard drive partitions, where we have music and spots and stuff stored.
Yeah.
And it just decided, no, I'm not doing that anymore. And so they were in a panic, and I had to go down and I told them, I said, I have a friend in Texas who's been complaining about this Microsoft update that I was not aware of, and that most people are probably not aware of anymore. That it just updates, and Microsoft Update and our archaic program that we use do not like each other. They stole money from each other back in the day, left each other's girlfriends or something. Somebody that's off and
very likely
getting along. So we dealt with that yesterday. So hopefully today will be a better day for you, sir. I hope for the viewers out there, today is a better day. Are we voting today at noon? When is the next vote?
Isn't it November? It's not now, is it?
I don't have it.
For people that talk about politics literally every day, we have no idea. No clue.
News you can trust from me.
Yeah.
All right. You can trust us. You can trust us as much as you can CNN.
Equally. We are I think I saw somewhere we're equally reputable and such.
All right. Song of the day. We are doing scary songs, and this one today, JJ, you might remember this one.
Okay. Oh, Nightmare on My Street.
So this was a novelty song, Nightmare on My Street by DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, Will Smith. They had this novelty song that came out. I don't know if it wasn't the first Nightmare on Elm Street. It might have been Nightmare on Elm Street 2. It wasn't in the movie or anything, but it was a novelty song that came out. And this one's a good one. I used to play this one for the kids, and it's got Robert Englund in there as well, who played Freddy Krueger. He does some voices in the song, and it's a classic DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. You know that?
Yeah.
It's a classic 80s Fresh Prince and DJ.
Kind of simpleton staccato rhymes or whatever.
I was walking to the movie one day and I saw that girl and I went and said, hey. Yeah, that's that type of song. But it's
the cool thing about music from the 80s and 90s is that they would have these things called music videos, which would be like you get the song, but then you get like a little like video that goes with the song.
The only reason I didn't put the video on this one is because the video is a shortened one, and this one's like this is the whole song, so I put the whole song. But go watch the video; it's a classic DJ Jazzy Jeff Fresh Prince video.
Do you have a favorite music video, Deacon? Is there a music video from all of time that stands out to you as the epitome? Like
I don't know if I can say epitome, but I can say
not epitome of music, but like this a seminal moment.
I have one, and when I say this, every single person that knows this will picture the video in their mind immediately because it's that recognizable. Some people probably have already said it. Aha, Take on Me.
Oh, that is a great music video. That is a great music video.
That one is because everybody remembers that video. Everybody remembers that video. So, all right. So, yeah, I'd have to think on that. That's a good question, dude. I've never been asked that before. What's your favorite music videos? Because the video is different. Let me tell you another really good video. I Would Do Anything for Love, but I Won't Do That by Meatloaf. That one is a great video. What's the Michael Jackson one? Not Thriller,
the Michael Jackson one is the one I was thinking of.
Yeah, Smooth Criminal. The Smooth Criminal video was like 30 minutes long. The whole
I remember. Fox News won't shut up. Okay, Thriller. I remember seeing that. It must have been on HBO or on MTV or something. When
it was the long intro.
It was amazing, and it was like this, Michael Jackson and some girl going on a date, and they're like going to the movies, and they have popcorn. He's walking her home, and then
at the time, the top effects master was a guy named Rick Baker, and Rick Baker was the top of the line back in the 70s and the 80s, especially the 80s, and he done that transformation in that video of him transforming into the wolf.
Did he really do the effects for that?
I think Rick Baker done the effects. I may be wrong, but I'm really pretty sure he done the effects. Our werewolf bonus today is The Wolf by Mumford & Sons. I haven't listened to a lot of Mumford & Sons, but the stuff that I have listened to, I've really, really dug. I just am lazy and I haven't done it. So listen to The Wolf. I like Mumford & Sons. This is a good song. Listen to this morning.
All right, Deke, I know you wanted me to do the hairy little glyph in the corner, but it's not going to happen this morning.
It's cool.
I can't do it right now. All right, so our title story is our title card anyway is the most interesting card. Rep Talib lies about. Yeah, of course. No, of course, it's fine.
I clicked it wrong time.
Rep Talib lies about the hospital bombing. And then we have a federal building invaded. Are these two things connected? Maybe they are. So, over the last, can you bring the thing down?
Yeah, my bad.
just bring it down.
Sorry. JJ, so what we were complaining about the Windows update this morning, what is happening is JJ's mouse is bouncing between the three screens.
I'm lucky if the show doesn't get stopped.
Yeah, so it's driving him crazy, if you can imagine.
Absolutely. All right. So over the last couple of days, we had, I'm sure you know, the story of Israel bombing a hospital, 500 people dead. New York Times published a story like that. The Wall Street Journal published that story in ink on paper. It's now part of history, except the Israel didn't drop the bomb. It was Hamas that shot rockets at Israel, and one of their cheap ass fucked up rockets fell on their own hospital. And then it didn't even fall in the hospital. It fell in the parking lot, blew up some cars, and the shrapnel hit people. There's some people hurt, but it wasn't 500 people. It was maybe like 30 people. And the hospital building didn't blow up. It wasn't leveled or destroyed.
But okay,
Israel has leveled buildings, but not a hospital. So go ahead.
We preach to not believe what people say all the time. So can we even believe that? Because I don't want to believe either sides. What we know is that the facts, bomb, this, people dead. this side saying they did it, this side saying they did it. I mean,
you can't even believe the number of people dead.
Yeah,
it wasn't.
And the people that we're been told to trust for so many years are flip-flopping on the thing, so and you know what you believe in, so you want to support people that believe similarly to you and
Right.
support these people that we have supported and whatnot. But you're kind of like, I don't believe anything anymore. And I don't want to go to war.
Yeah, definitely don't want war. We are being straight up being dragged into war by lies. Okay. Now, sometimes that is bad information that, isn't vetted, and mistakes. Okay. Mistakes is one thing. You still shouldn't go to war for mistakes, but we are straight up being dragged into war for lies. Hamas fucked up and blew up their own parking lot. And then made the claim. Hamas made the Gaza Palestinian Gaza Ministry of Health said 500 people died in a hospital bombing, and the New York Times didn't check. The Wall Street Journal didn't check. Mainstream media did not check. They just ran the stories, and then you have reactions from people all over the world, literally all over the world. Hamas in Lebanon and Iraq and everywhere, where people are protesting, swarming, and setting fires at U.S. embassies, Israel embassies. And you had in Jordan, this happened in Jordan. You have people in America, pro-Palestinian protesters, getting whipped up and lit up and incensed that a hospital and 500 children dead in Gaza. And, Israel is evil, except it didn't happen. It didn't happen. And then we have Rashida Talib get on a microphone and get in front of the American public and repeat the lie. Evil Israel bombs hospital, murders children. And then when the rest of the world eventually is like, oh, that didn't happen. First of all, the corrections, 99% of the people will see the bogus lie story, and then 20% of the people will see the corrections. And when the corrections come out, Rashida Talib doubles down and does not apologize, refuses to apologize for lying. This is Rashida Talib on. I'm not going to play her audio, but
I couldn't find the story, or I was going to pull it up.
This is her at a little rally in Washington, D.C., just repeating the lies, because she wants people to be on Team Palestine.
This to me looks like, and you know me, I'm a storyteller in my head, so you have to bring me down from my fantasy worlds sometimes in my creations, and you do.
Yeah.
I think we all need to be a little bit more aware of our deficiencies, and that's one of my deficiencies that you don't do it maliciously, but you point it out sometimes. No. And it does.
We're humans. We're inclined to that. We want stories.
So my storytelling mind is like, man, this war over there has started could start a war over here in the States, because these people are so passionate about this. And we have these Palestinian people, and we have all these damn 5.7 million immigrants over here that supposedly are getting paid by NATO.
Sure.
I don't know. It's
look, okay. So the pro-Palestinian protesters or whatever, I don't really blame them. These are Palestinian Americans, people that migrated here, their parents migrated here. They have cousins that live in Gaza or whatever. They have a personal vested interest in seeing Palestine exist as a state, even though, it doesn't. There's all kinds of historical reasons why these groups are a conflict. There's all kinds of reasons why you can't just tear the fence down and let the people in Gaza just kind of go wherever they want in Israel. There's reasons. Some of those reasons are that they will just kill Israelis. That's their mission and mandate in their charter of Hamas. So, I mean, the people that are pro-Palestinian, you got Palestinian, cousins and family and whatever. And I get it, but ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening to this show, this is America. We are America, and we need to make sure that America does not get fucked up and burned down. That's your first priority.
If you don't believe that in 200 years, if humans are still around and teaching history, that they will not be talking about this point in time in college courses, if colleges are still around in the year 2525, races are battling each other. This is like if you were reading in a history book about ancient US. All right, in that time, the different skin colored people were fighting against each other all the time, and then the different religious people were fighting against each other all the time, and the different political parties and the people that had power were fighting against each other all the time, and then the people that owned the big corporations controlled the political people, and they were fighting all the time. You don't think they're not going to have master's degree courses in US history?
And it's going to be like what percent of bullshit is going to be taught as history?
And let me tell let me tell you one of the whole core subjects of ancient U.S. history in the year 3523. All right, is going to be. I think you're fixing to pull it up. Is going to be how people stormed the White House, the Capitol building, and got arrested and put in prison. And then people did the same thing, and they didn't do anything because they were a different political party. They were a different ideology. They did the same thing.
Look at this.
I swear to God, if conservative people are just, they're like, I don't care. I just want to try to pay my bills, and I don't care. I just want to try to pay my bills, and I don't care. But they don't realize that if we need to be pissed off about this right here. We need to be pissed off about this. Every single one of those freaking people. I don't care if they're just sitting there or what. Those people were walking around and being toured by fucking police officers.
Yeah.
January 6th. These people were actually fighting the police. I saw that one liberal crazy person yesterday going bonkers on that police officer in that one video. The video they're showing here, they're sitting there peacefully, but bullshit. Get up and go outside, or you're going to be arrested. They did the same thing.
I mean, these people don't care about being arrested, right?
Now, the people that did destroy stuff on J6 and took stuff like that,
everybody agrees they shouldn't have done that.
Shouldn't have done it. Prosecute them.
Everybody agrees that the Q shaman was the most dangerous person in America, and he very literally could have become emperor of America with his bull hat. Everybody knows that.
I've got a shrine in my closet. I
still wish that the Q shaman had partially succeeded in acquiring part of America. Here's the thing: the conservatives or the right or basically the not crazy people, they know, okay, those are protesters. They shouldn't be doing that. Arrest them, get them out of there, back to normal business, right? But when you show up, if you're anything right of center at all, if you show up and protest, it's jail, it's insurrection, it's trumped up charges. The left will act as though you're an actual threat to democracy, even though you're just doing if you did the exact same thing here. If the Gun Owners Association of America showed up and did a protest here, they'd be in jail for 30 years. All right. We got some other news in the headlines that's I don't know. I guess trigger warning, folks. Trigger warning. Really. Prepare yourselves. Cher says that if Donald Trump is reelected, she will leave the United States of America.
Oh, so I hate to see you go. If I could turn back time. You know what, Cher? You know what? You know what, Cher?
That's good. That was good.
I'm at a loss for words. I just really don't care. You're still alive?
Yeah. How come you're not wearing
still
like
around?
I don't know,
Cool.
spandex or whatever?
I like
Left wing
Gypsies, Tramps and Thieves. That was a cool song, man. 60 years ago.
I can't name one except for the one you just hummed. I would be like, I wouldn't know. I guess I would know if it was a Cher song.
Oh,
if I heard her voice.
If I Could Turn Back Time was the video. Let me tell you the video, and you'll remember that song. That was the video on the Navy battleship where she was wearing a G-string for the very
that's
television. Yeah,
sexy.
Very first time anybody seen that. Yeah, and
gross.
Then you don't remember the. If I believe in life after love.
Yeah.
Okay,
that's a good one.
That song was that's when the auto-tune was first. The auto-tune's been around for a long ass time, but that's when it was first started getting used a lot. And
was that her kind of doing like a club song?
I guess that's That's worse than Kid Rock's slow ballad that he uses that auto-tune on, and it's just so blatantly obvious. I can't even listen to him.
Cher says that she almost got an ulcer last time when Trump was elected, and if he gets in again, who knows? This time I'll leave the country.
All right. Well, that's good. See you later, Cher.
Bye, Cher. Let me just check. Can I get a show of hands? Who gives a fuck? Does anybody here?
I think they're out. I think we're out of here.
All right. Let's see. How much time we have left? We got 30. Still got half an hour. Let's see.
Send Cher over to see our friend Do Good. Do Good, do you want Cher?
You can have a Cher. Can we trade? Do they have something that we need? You know what?
Germany
take it on a loan and we'll work it out later.
Germany has a lot of really cool words that we need over here in America. And I can't think of any off the top of my head, but I've seen a bunch. It's like Germany has this word that means this. And I'm like, oh my God, we need that word. So I can't think of any off the top of my head.
So Deke, you like memes. Don't you like memes? Memes are fun. Memes are possibly a language. Don't you think?
We were doing memes back in the day before they were called memes and had digital stuff. We had audio meme. Still to this day, Ashley will just sprout off a line to a movie, and and me and my brother do that. We just sprout off lines from movies to each other. And we were talking about it one day with the kids, and I was like, those really were our memes back then, but we didn't have a word for it,
Well, I thought I had the story here, but now I see it's just going to be Poso talking.
No, here.
There was you got an actual news story?
Yeah, I've got the news story.
So there was a man that posted a meme in the 2016 election. So here's the idea. You post a little image of Hillary Clinton or whatever, and you put a little message on there. Don't forget to vote. You can vote from home. Just text in your vote to this number. It's totally legit. And something like that. The joke was you cannot vote from your phone. You cannot vote from home. You have to go down to the polling place and vote, or, do your mail-in ballot. This joke was, oh my. Yeah, you got one there. There's a couple there. Can you bigonate that?
I'm trying to. It took me to
tiny.
Another. Hang on. It took me to
you
another.
got to switch tabs.
Yeah, hang on. I don't know how.
So the joke is, you read a meme and got your political information from a meme and you didn't vote. That's the joke. Except this guy wasn't the first. Oh, say there's one right there. Avoid the line. Vote from home. Text Hillary to 59925. Yeah, that won't work. The joke would be like, oh, you tricked an idiot into not voting. Which, by the way, might be a public service. Do we need dumb people voting? Is that good for America, for stupid people to vote?
I don't know. This is a good article, though. I will post this.
Hit the headline. Show the headline.
The headline is a viral meme maker who joked about Hillary Clinton sentenced to 7 months in prison for election interference. This is from the Federalist.
Mm-hmm.
If you're watching our show, you probably need to also go to the Federalist. So I'm going to drop this over in the. I'll drop it in the general.
When the left says anything incendiary, it's free speech. when you make a joke that should be political free speech, it's jail time. It's jail time. That's the world we live in. 7 months in prison for posting a meme.
Yeah, I read most of this story this morning. I thought there was one. It's a good. He gives a lot of examples of hypocrisy in here. So
yeah, the people on the left were doing the same thing.
Yeah, and so it's a good article. Go to the Discord server over there. Check that one out.
Yeah. So we live in a. I mean, listen, folks. Hey, if you want to know what's good for you, don't question anything. Do what you're told. Keep your mouth shut and don't have an opinion. Then you'll be okay. That's freedom in America. You got something to say, you better keep your mouth shut or you're going to end up in jail.
You've got a Trump story here. You want to pull that one up?
I mean, I can't operate shit. You do.
I'll
do whatever.
Pull it up. You give the synopsis there.
Yeah. I could barely get anything to work.
All right, here you go.
Oh yeah.
Totally inappropriate.
Yeah.
Totally inappropriate. I can't do Trump. Trump rips Biden.
I think the only thing I can say is China.
Former President Donald Trump blasted Biden Wednesday for sending $100 million in humanitarian aid to Palestinians, calling the move totally inappropriate. Biden announced his aid Wednesday, just days after the United Nations Relief and Works Agency posted on Twitter X that Hamas stole fuel and other relief supplies. Hamas attacked multiple locations in southern Israel. You know all this bullshit. Basically, the story is that Biden gave $100 million in humanitarian aid to Palestine, and Trump's like, you're a dumbass for doing that.
I mean, yeah, that's exactly true. Here's the timeline. Hamas terrorists attack Israel. The whole world goes, what? And then the United States says, here's $100 million, Hamas. Who in Palestine do you think is going to get that money?
How many Biden voters that were going to vote for Biden this next election would now change their vote?
Hold on.
If Biden is giving money to Palestine?
I need to
type. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I just need to reframe. I said the timeline. I made a mistake. The first step is Biden leaves $80 billion in arms in Afghanistan. They give it to Gaza. Gaza attacks Israel, and then Joe Biden gives Palestine $100 million. So right. Biden is the biggest enemy of the Jews that has ever existed, except for Hitler, maybe.
My story mind is already like, okay, if look at this as a chess game, that's going to take a period of 10 years. That was a brilliant move to just, why in the hell did he leave all of this equipment? At the time we were like, why did he do that? Why did he do that? Hindsight is 2020. He did that. They took control. They attacked this. Hey, we're going to do that. It all,
so stupid.
I'm a conspiracy. If it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck.
Here's a story. What if the ghost of Hitler possessed Biden?
You sound like a moron.
No. What if when Joe Biden had an aneurysm and they had to put a steel plate in his brain, in his head? What if he was possessed by the ghost of Hitler?
The first thing that a history-minded person like myself has a problem with that is that you people that think Hitler was the most evil man alive at that time have never heard of Himmler. All right? Jesus Christ. Himmler made Hitler look like a freaking saint. Okay? Anyway, everybody always says, Hitler. I'm like, Hitler was a bad guy, but you've never read about what that other man did and is responsible for. Sorry. I don't know any more political stories. I do have one political story for you, JJ.
Mm-hmm.
You have you do. I'm going to preface this story. What's this?
How dare you? How dare you have stolen my dreams, my childhood. How dare you? Empty words have stolen my dreams. How dare you? I'm one of the lucky ones. How dare you?
Greta.
I love that dumb bitch.
I have obviously already reached my article limit for Reuters. Yikes, geez. I'm so depressed about that. I might have to do something. Climate activist Greta Thunberg was detained by police in London on Tuesday, with Reuters witnesses reported, after she and others protested outside an oil and gas conference, preventing some delegates from attending. Do you care?
Oh no.
You want to see?
I care in a kind of way.
Fucking smug that little. How old is she?
Oh, I think she's like 22 now.
Okay,
or whatever.
I wasn't going to call her a little bitch.
20.
She's a little kid. Look how smug that little bitch's face is, man. I don't want to call her a little bitch because she's a victim, man. This girl is.
She's a brainwashed person.
She has so been brainwashed that now she thinks that she is doing the Lord's work or whatever,
Right.
She's a victim. Yeah, I don't need to call her names. I need to change my outlook on this little girl. I feel sorry for her. I really do. I got some entertainment. I got some AI news, and you got some gross news, man. I don't know about this one story.
Gross news? What do you mean gross news?
Gross news. Bottom. I don't know.
Beep, bop, boop. This is AI News.
You liked that, didn't you?
Yeah, I love that. It's great.
So I've got some AI stories here for you. One we'll hit up on real quick. OpenAI finally allows ChatGPT complete internet access. Those paying for OpenAI's chatbot are now able to use Bing to give ChatGPT the latest information. It's using Bing.
It's not that bad.
You use Bing?
Yeah, I use Bing a lot.
Oh, okay. I don't. Yeah. Browse with Bing feature is on ChatGPT for you people that pay for ChatGPT. No, Gizmodo, I'm not going to do that. So there you go. Here's a cool. Let me get to this one before I read the cool one. So you know how the billionaires and the really rich people have been kind of, and going back to political real quick, you know how the billionaires and the rich people have kind of been pissed off at some of the schools for the pro-Palestinian stuff. There is a billionaire AI investor whose advice to college students is get as broad as education as possible. And it's not because of that, but it's along the same lines. That's a really good. It's really good. Keep educating yourself. But he says this: young people entering college face a dilemma. Here in a bit, jobs are not going to be available for you because AI is going to take it over. I got to get this phone call.
Yep. Let me see if I can read it. Vinod Khosla, billionaire Silicon Valley investor who was one of the first to back OpenAI, says he hears the question a lot from those entering college. Get as broad an education as possible because you don't know what will be relevant. That's true. You need to have a wide skill stack. You can't specialize too early.
Well, this guy says that a lot of medical jobs will be taken over by AI here, and I mean AI has definitely helped the medical field quite a bit. But I can't find in the article where he actually he predicts the phenomenon will accelerate dramatically. He anticipates 80% of 80% of all jobs will be made obsolete by AI in the coming decade. That includes positions in specialized, highly paid fields like accounting and medicine. Accountants, yeah. If my kid was like, "I'm going to go to school to be an accountant," I'm like, "No, you're not. No, you're not. Nope, you're not going to have any jobs. AI is taking that over. AI will take that over completely." To underscore this point, he pointed out to oncologists whom he says will be displaced by highly trained machines that possess far more knowledge and make fewer mistakes. So if you had to have a procedure done, JJ, it was a procedure that these human surgeons had had a 70% chance survival rate, but if the
Yeah.
machines done it, you had a 99% survival rate. What would you
Mm.
choose for your loved one?
Hmm.
I'm not going to mention a
Right.
lot, but for your loved one, what would you suggest? The
Hmm.
human
I guess
70% success rate, because humans have the, oh my God, we had an error. Something went wrong that we weren't anticipating. We can use our human intuition and human to react and do that.
so. Okay, so here's my kind of immediate thought on that. Right. When humans make a mistake, sometimes the mistake is catastrophic. Even when it's catastrophic and a human makes a mistake, usually it's more or less just around them, right? You make a mistake and like, oh, it's like, oh, somebody died. Oh, that's terrible. But it was like, oops, one person died. When AI and machines are in control of everything, and these machines make a mistake, trains collide, or planes crash, or missiles fire, or all kinds of disasters that are automated could. So now it's like a medical thing. I don't know about a robot sticking a doodad into me and doing something. I just don't know. I don't think so. I
What
don't
if you
know.
had a 50% success rate with humans and a 99.9% success rates with the machine?
Are we talking machine, human, machine augmenting a human, or totally a machine?
Machine doing the procedure. 99.9% success rate versus a 50% success rate.
That's 50% is pretty shitty.
70% is pretty shitty when compared to 99%.
Yeah.
I'm not like you. I have that mentality. I want to have that mentality that you do. I really do. But the prevailing part of me is just like, nope, machine's going to do it.
Yeah. You'd be like, well, I have a better, like that's the rational thing. People don't they don't really make decisions rationally. They don't actually weigh the pros, cons, and then make a decision.
Human beings, as a nature encoded in our DNA, do not like change. We do not like things to change. So if you have been taught some way, it's very hard to learn a new way. It was very hard for me to learn this new world that we are living in with our kids. Once my kids passed that 12, 13-year-old threshold, it became a new world, and it was a world that we did not grow up in. It was very hard. And me and Ashley have had very many conversations about our parents grew up this way. We were taught this way, but we've got to teach our kids this way because this way doesn't work anymore at all on various things. And it's very hard to change. People don't like to be humbled. They take that word as a negative word, but being humbled, you humble me all the time. I think I've said, no, you do. I've said this all the time. I've said this for years, but I say ass kicking. I think we all need to be humbled once a decade, once a year, mentally, physically, and spiritually. You need to have your ass kicked mentally, physically, and spiritually every once in a while to humble your ass, to get you back down on the normal level, because we all get that way. We all get a little pompous sometimes.
Yeah.
In certain aspects. So I got one more piece of AI news. I'm not going to really go deep into this because this is it was a really cool article. It's not a very long article, but I think this has got some good implications in the future. Physicists have created a new form of antenna for radio waves. And of course, me being a career radio person for 30 years, I immediately clicked on this article, and it's really cool. So they've invented this bulb that they can shoot this laser at. Basically, to get into idiot terms, it's a bulb that they shoot a laser at, and it's far more sensitive and broader than normal radio waves. And they think that this could be used in all kind.
So like the bulb is like the receiver of the wave, because a radio wave is just light at a different frequency.
Right.
Right. Yeah. So is the bulb the receiving component?
As far as
cool.
As far as I know, I think it has something to do with. I don't think it. Yeah, it is the receiving component of it. I think. Yeah. Compared to where sensors can function without any metal parts, it can scatter radio frequency field of interest in atomic sensor and access by laser light, replacing the need for electric cables. So this has some really good implications in military aspects as well as like space,
communications. You'd have like
yeah.
You are limited to line of sight, but you're limited to line of sight anyway. Radio waves that are not out of line of sight, they end up bouncing off the
they're different. AM waves bounce off the atmosphere and bounce off everything. AM waves will. That's why at night you can turn to certain stations in the country are called clear channel stations. They're not that there's a company called Clear Channel Radio that owns a bunch, but these are they're called clear channel stations because they have a clear channel. They're the only people that broadcast on that channel on AM, and they're usually push so much power. And at night, AM waves just bounce off the atmosphere and everything that you can pick up. You can pick up AM waves. Wolfman Jack, one of the most famous radio DJs of all time back in the 50s and the 60s, he worked on an AM station in Mexico where they do not have a 100,000 watt wattage limit. And from what I was told, the AM station was a 300,000 watt radio station.
Wow.
That's why Wolfman Jack is known all over the world, because you could pick him up in Belgium. You could probably pick him up on freaking Mars with 300,000 wave, just distance wise. AM waves bounce, but FM waves don't. FM waves deteriorate as they go through the air. So that's why if you'll look up on AM towers, you see those big towers that stick up. Every one of them are for radio, they're AM towers. But if you look at the very top of the tower, there's these little things that stick off of it, these little satellite looking things. That is actually the FM tower on top of the AM tower.
Right.
It way the shit up there.
I think
because they deteriorate.
I think the bouncing of the AM waves is because the wave is so wide and it hits the atmosphere, and at night the solar radiation from the sun is not interfering with that wave. Am I mistaken about that?
I'm going to tell you one of my favorite radio stories from being a DJ. Okay, this is one of my favorite DJ radio stories. For folks that don't know, I've been a radio DJ for about 30 years. I got my start on an oldies station in the 90s. I played oldies music. And back then, we broadcast on an AM and an FM station. But at night, we had to go back to the transmitter, hit a button, turn the plate off. I'm shutting AM high power to low power. So I'm shutting down the wattage of AM. During the day, it broadcast at a certain watt. At night, we go down to 50 watts at night.
Okay.
Right? Because that's what the FCC tells us. So I would go back there and turn down the plate and turn it back on. Turn it down to 50 watts. I was sitting there one night in the radio station playing some oldies song, and I get a phone call. And I answered it, and I'm in Kentucky. Okay, for those that don't know, I'm in Kentucky. And the guy says, "Hey, man, you're playing some great music tonight. Can I request a song?" And I was like, "Absolutely, you can, because if you want to get a song, you are more likely to get a song requested if you compliment the DJ with the very first one." That's a tip for you, ladies and gentlemen. So I was like, "Absolutely. What would you like to hear?" And he's like, "Blah, blah, blah." And I was like, "All right, yeah. Where are you calling from?" And this is a true story. He said, "Blah, blah, blah." And I was like, "Well, I'm from around here. I don't even recognize that name. Where's that at?" And he goes, "That's about 20 miles north of Scottsdale." And I went, it still hadn't hit me. And I was like, "Where's Scottsdale?" And he goes, "Arizona?" Like I was an idiot. And I turned around really quick because I could see through the big picture window the transmitters, and it was high power. And I went, "Oh my God, are you listening on AM 1290?" And he was like, "Yeah, I am." And I was like, "Dude, I'm in Kentucky. You are not supposed to be picking me up right now." I said, I'm going to play your song, but as soon as your song's over, you're going to lose our radio station entirely." I forgot.
That's amazing.
So that is a honest to God true story that happened to me.
All right.
I'll never forget that one. So,
All right, Deke.
this AI news with the radio waves is in our Discord server in the news drops. Check it out. I think it has some really great implications for our technology and communications in the future.
Guys, before we get to our last story or two, I just want to remind you, if you haven't already, please like the channel. Please follow the channel. We're on rumble.com/JJW. And if you go to our Discord server, not only can you hang out with us, but we're setting it up where you can send comments in there and they'll be on the show. So that's available. So go check that out.
And what can we pick up?
Hey,
one more thing.
Hey, we actually got a comment right now from Scottsdale. Like no joke, right now. Yeah. No, I'm not. RMZINNI. I don't know. So RM Zinni is on Rumble right now. Says that he's from Scottsdale. I'm assuming it's a he. I don't want to misgender. It is from Scottsdale. They is from Scottsdale.
That's awesome. That's
that's cool.
Ashley's from Arizona. She was born in Arizona. She came over here when she was like 6 or 7 or something like that. So they have family in Arizona and whatnot. And I've known some people you people in Arizona have a different heat than us in Kentucky. If you come to visit Kentucky, do not come in the summer towards July and August, or you will feel like you're dying. People are like, it's 112 in Arizona. I'm like, yeah, y'all don't have 95% humidity either.
Yeah. It's different. It's different when it's humid.
I wanted to bring this up before you got to this last story because we were hitting up our Discord server and everything.
Sure.
JJ, Sinister Minister, and I, and maybe some others are working on because I'm a D&D nerd and I've played Dungeons and Dragons for years, and they have never played. So I'm working on a fantasy D&D world that kind of mimics some stuff that we talk about on the show and maybe happening in real life, and maybe other things as well in pop culture and stuff that we know. And I'm working on this game. It's going to be in January, hopefully in January by the time I get everything done, because I'm creating everything at the top of my head. And JJ wants to film it and put it as a thing.
Yeah. And we're gonna make the book available. I think we're gonna try to make the book available.
If you like stuff like that, or you know somebody that likes stuff like that, we're gonna have some fun. I'm a 30+ year Dungeons and Dragons dungeon master. I've been playing since 2nd edition, 1st edition, so I know what I'm talking about. I think I'm a
0+ year.
I know. I'm going to try to make it fun. So I just wanted to hit that up.
And last thing, if you guys follow us on rumble.com, whatever your account is on Rumble, I'm going to follow you back. Okay. That's what I'm doing right now. Okay. Right. Here we go. Now, Deke, before we can go today, we got some hairy news. Deke.
You're going to do some hairy news today?
Yeah. We got some hairy news. Oh yeah. Have you ever seen the Patterson-Gimlin film?
That is the classic Bigfoot walking in the forest, moving his arms, that they got when they were horseback riding, actually going looking for Bigfoot, and they happened to film this guy. And I've heard many, many stories over the years discrediting it. As technology has improved, they have been able to scrutinize the film a lot more, even down to the gait that the thing walks with. And they compared it to a local guy that was like 6'9" or something that walked through town. And they were like, this is this guy. So, I mean, I've heard all kinds of conspiracy theories, but as technology moves on, they keep coming out. So
I was thinking before we go too far that I would see if I could play the original Patterson-Gimlin film, but see if we can find the original Patterson-Gimlin film, like unmolested. There it is.
This is it stabilized.
Yeah, I don't want it stabilized yet. I want to see the original.
We were 10 minutes late today, so we still got 10 minutes.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, that's true. We got 15 people here right now on Rumble. Okay, you got the original.
If this one is the original, let me get through.
Do you believe in Sasquatch? Do you believe that there's a Bigfoot or some Bigfoots or Big Feet, maybe different even species? Do you think that there are wild man-like creatures in the mountains of America?
Honestly,
yeah. And this isn't the first time we talked Sasquatch news either.
Yeah. Yes. Oh gosh, I didn't know it was going to be this.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be. All right, never mind.
You guys recognize that that the stills from that though.
Yeah, and I can't find the damn.
Yeah, that's okay. It's fine.
They've all got it stabilized.
I mean, everybody wants to do the stabilized version.
Yeah, here's the stabilized. You want to see the stabilized version of the film?
Yeah, let's see the one we have in the story here. Here we go. Stabilized.
Well, I've got
Patterson.
I've got it big here on my screen.
Where'd it go?
I'm trying to pull it up. I think we were doing it at the same time and it was getting pissed off.
Yeah.
Here, show this one.
There you go. So that's a stabilized version of the woods shot. There's another version that they have out now, but for some reason, here we go. This one tracks the frame of the camera.
You mean at it?
Is this mine? No, here it is mine. Here it is. Here we go. So that's when they were originally holding the camera, that they were kind of following it physically with the camera. So somebody took the footage and I guess took frames of each part of the woods in the background and stabilized it. Is that a creature or is that a dude in a gorilla suit?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that one. But for the question, do I believe there could be something out there? Yes. Yes, right. I do. I do. There's reports of these things all over the place. There's been a report of one here in our area too over the years.
Oh yeah, I believe that is Sasquatch side boob right there, dude. I didn't know that there was side boob in this photo.
Oh yeah,
watch real close right there.
I appreciate you pointing that out.
Yeah, Sasquatch side boob, some hairy tits.
Okay, so go back. So just play the film again, and what I want you to look at is I want you to look at his shoulder build. I want you to look at the shape of his head and how like on the gorilla down here, how on chimpanzees there can be a line that looks like they were hit with a barber there with a pair of clippers. That's a straight perfect line. So there's the flesh face with the hair, but you see how the head kind of comes up a little bit. You see his gait. You see how he's kind of hunched over a little bit. He's not standing straight with perfect posture. He's hunched over. He's definitely got it's a big thing because look at his girth in his midsection there. All right.
Yeah.
So I wanted to point that out because I have a story for you too, JJ.
It looks right at the camera. I mean, I've always thought that that's just a dude in a suit, and this was like a hoaxy joke. That's what I thought. And we've covered. Okay, so let's get your other story.
What's the story about this though? Why'd you bring this up?
That it's been stabilized so that you could, so that it wasn't all jerky and herky jerky.
It's been stabilized for a while. I thought you were bringing up this story because this is the one that is probably in the news. Why that news story came up.
Okay.
Is because the algorithms are hit because of this news story. So there was a couple recently, like 6, 7, 8 days ago, a week ago, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, really?
On a train in Colorado. And they were traveling down this train and they're looking out the window and they're like, what the fuck is that? And so they get out their camera real quick and they capture this. This is the film that I have seen that is going around right now. And you tell me what this is, but I want you to look. This is as big as it gets. All right.
So I know I have seen this. Okay, I saw this. Right. I saw this, but only for a moment. Go ahead.
It's an elusive creature.
Down.
Just squat it down. Yeah, let me see your camera. I'll do it.
Why you just can't zoom in is beyond me. I don't know about you, but if I saw a Bigfoot in a train. My Samsung, if you pull up the camera, there's these little dots down here at the bottom, and it says zoom 1 times, 3 times, and 10 times. And when you hit that 10, it goes way close. It's really
you can. Cool. Well, you may not have a super new phone.
They might have had an iPhone.
They may have had an iPhone. Can't blame people for that. So. All right. So, like this is one of these things is I think is kind of interesting. Is that the first thing that occurs to my mind, and maybe yours, is like that's probably a guy in a suit. But then your brain tries to discredit that idea by saying,
"Did you?"
No, we can go back and see it. We can see it. We can go back and see it again. But your brain will try to say it won't be a guy in a suit. Why would anyone do that, right? If that's the question that tries to debunk, oh, that's a guy in your suit, why would anyone do that? That's crazy. People wouldn't do that. People would do that.
People do that. There's a guy I know. He's a good friend of mine. He's a woodworker, and he told me one day. He showed me. He went to the freaking store, and in the new shop, the Goodwill, and he found a size 13 shoe or 14 shoe that was there, and he laughed and he bought them. And he's a woodworker, so he was sitting there at his house. I swear to God, this is a true story. He told me, and not very many people know it, so I'm telling the freaking world.
Okay,
I'm not telling his name, but
don't tell his name.
He worked a part of their Bigfoot feet that he glued to the bottom of these shoes. He put them on the bottom of these shoes, and he takes them out. And when he's going out in the woods every once in a while, and he finds a creek that's got some good part, and he'll get them out of his Jeep and put them on and do these big ass strides where people can see them. And he said, you got to fix one little part where the wood is to make it look like so, because you can see the seam. He said, but if you get in there and touch it up and whatnot, like he said, I'll do that every once in a while. Cracks.
People will do all kinds of stuff to amuse themselves.
Absolutely.
100%. You and I get on the internet and talk bullshit every day.
That's the Andy Kaufman. That's why Andy Kaufman is my favorite comedian ever, is because he's not trying to entertain everyone else. He was trying to entertain himself.
Just me. Just you. Yeah. All right. So what's up with its head? That it was that you're saying that it's.
Hang on.
Oh, okay. Well,
hang on. I got it right here. Control-Shift-T. Look at his head.
Control-Shift-T.
You hit Control-Shift-T and it will open up the web page that you just closed. It will open up web pages that you closed.
Oh, that's so small, dude. You can almost not see that.
You really can't. You really can't. But
I can totally see a guy being like, "This will be funny. I'm going to walk past the train in a gorilla suit, and people are going to think I'm."
Me too. I can't.
I'd have to. I don't know that thing. In fact, I even think like I would do that if the opportunity presented itself. I would do that. Okay, all right, guys.
My cousin had this. Back in the late 90s. He had bought it off of not a website, but a magazine, actually, Fangoria magazine, Fangoria. And it was a professional, like $200 zombie head, and it come all the way down to like right here, the mask head. It was a big, put it on and it come down to about right here. So he was having some people he was like 20. He was having some people at his house that night, some friends. And so he gave me the mask and told me to just come up to their screen door and just knock on it and stand there. And I did. I went up to the door and I knocked on it. It was like 9 o'clock after it got dark, and stand there and knocked, and screams erupted everywhere. And then I just ran back to my car and put the mask in and left. And he said they were awesome. They went outside.
That kind of reminds me. I don't know what the story was, but like especially on low budget shows, like low budget films, or people, like stuff like that they can afford like visual effects and makeup and stuff.
It's cool.
They usually do like physical makeup, and I don't remember what movie it was or what film it was, but there was this project where a whole bunch of people were dressed like it. Maybe it was the Walking Dead show or something. A whole bunch of people were dressed as zombies, or a whole bunch of people were dressed as injured or something. And for some reason, they had to go to the hospital. And so all these people show up in makeup and they look like they've just been murdered, and they're walking into the hospital. All right. Guys, as we do every single day on the show, at the end of the show, your two dads tell dad jokes.
Deacon gets to guess JJ's lame dad joke.
Oh, you're gonna this one is too easy for you.
This one is going to put me at 20-0. And if I go to 20-0, I'll have to give you my toss up tomorrow.
Ooh, how could we give the audience a prize if you get to like 100?
They get an extra brownie point.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah. Deke, what is a skeleton's favorite instrument?
The xylophone? No, wait.
The
xylophone?
No.
Xylophone?
No.
I don't know.
Trombone.
Oh, that's a good one.
No, it's not. It's not good. It's not good.
So Ashley and I went out last night, and we saw this. We were going to the show, and the opening act was this magician, and he was from Mexico. He was a Mexican magician, and he told everybody in the audience for his final thing. He was like, "I'm going to disappear," and he was like, "Uno, dos," and then he vanished in a poof of smoke. He disappeared without a trace.
It's.
I'm not hearing my laughs.
Yeah,
Come on, people.
I don't know what happened. What in the hell? Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't already, like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. We'll be back tomorrow, 8 o'clock in the morning, rumble.com/JJW.